we just got a new GM, and it's one of those things, like, it's awesome. Like, every other year when the house is in session, I make, like, twice as much money, just because it's lobbyists bringing politicians in who are just trying to, like, buy whatever vote they need to or whatever, and I'm putting that harshly
to it. I like it.
Okay, and that's the thing, is like, whatever it isn't really, that's not important. Like, I don't care. They just need to make somebody happy by spending a lot of money on high-end wine and the biggest steaks, and they don't want to talk to me. They have shit to do. So, like, I go in there, and it's like, we'll have 4 bottles of Camus or Opus 1 or whatever, and we'll have 9 tomahawk ribeyes, and, and they'll give me the whole order, and then it's just make sure that shit happens. And then I don't have to come talk to them. They don't want me in the room, and they don't want me to, like, really do... Because, like, most of my job, or where my bread and butter kind of comes from, is being the funny server. Like, having the jokes, like, hey, let your hair down, whatever, because at Ruth's Chris, it's all prim and proper and stuff, so my whole thing is, like, cracking jokes, especially if the kitchen fucks up, it's like, or, like, if something happens, I can just be like, hey, what's going on? That's weird, right? I mean, I told them, or, whatever. And, so me getting to talk to you, I feel like, is how I get my tip average up. Like, me making the jokes and getting you to endear yourself to me. Where those guys, they just tip like crazy. Just as long as I make sure that nothing upset anybody in the room, it's great money, and I don't have to do anything, really.
Do they rent out, like, a whole room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a couple of, like, banquet rooms in the back that are just isolated. And, just as, like, I get the whole order immediately, the order of everything, and then they just want me to bring the food. It makes me think of,
like, mob restaurants, you know what I mean? Where they're, like, there's 2 people, like, you'll see the mob movies, and there's just 2 guys and no one else, and they're just eating spaghetti across from each other, and you're like, how is this restaurant run? How does this function? There's no one in it.
Yeah, we used to...
This is a bad front.
You can use all of this stuff, just, like, bleep out the name, I guess. I don't know.
I was like, don't say the name!
We used to have this cigar eater. Like, we have a room in the back still that has, like, a cigar smoke eater kind of thing. And we used to, like, up until we went corporate, our manager used to let dudes go back there and smoke cigars and discuss all kinds of stuff. Like, it does have that vibe. But regardless, it's like, either way, whatever they're talking about, it's probably not shady. It's just, like, they just need, like... I don't know, that conversation only happens in absolute comfort and certainty.
Oh, yeah, government things, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's like...
Weird.
I've waited on pro-life people, and it's like, I'm not, like, super into that, but then I talk to them, and it's like, the lobbyists don't even feel that way. Like, they're not even necessarily pro-life.
Oh, it's just their job. It's probably easier
it makes money.
I would say I can't imagine that most people in politics actually believe any of the things that they're saying. They're just playing the game that they are. At least lobbyists. I mean, that's their whole thing.
Yeah.
How many kids does Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have?
A lot.
You don't know? Okay. We were trying to figure it out. We don't like looking it up on our phones, so
5?
we're just going to do it.
Does 5 sound right?
Okay. That sounds right.
5 or 6. I don't know.
6 sounds good. But 5 is, like, enough to play basketball with, so...
6 is the Brady Bunch, so that's what I assume is the perfect amount of children that you should have. That's why I'll have 0. Because, if I can't have 6, and I feel like at this point, unless they're all coming at once, I'm not having 6.
6 or none.
Did they both? I don't know.
Them's the rules. That's how I feel about the children.
Buy them by the half dozen. No.
That's what that book, Cheaper by the Dozen, was about.
It was a book?
Yeah, it was a book, and then, that Steve Martin, Ashton Kutcher book, about purchasing a dozen people. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
Purchasing
See, I love those...
by Steve Martin.
So if you go on the Silk Road, like I was talking about earlier...
oh my God.
You can get them by the baker's
Why
dozen.
is it
They kind
silk?
of deal. The Silk Road was...
where they traveled to trade silk.
Yeah, it was like a... Well, I mean, it was like commerce.
Really is.
It was a road of commerce. Way back when.
Primarily to trade silk. People don't know this, but the ancient peoples would eat only silk. They would wear only silk. They would sleep on only silk. They would fuck only silk. they would breathe only silk.
What do you mean?
The world was 100% silk back then, or a
Yes.
breathable atmosphere.
Yeah. It was like padded rooms made of silk.
Yeah,
You
no.
remember that episode of Boy Meets World where Corey and Topanga are gonna fuck?
Oh,
Yes.
And they're
What?
both wearing
their
silk
honeymoon.
pajamas, and they have silk sheets, and so I think Topanga is like laying on their bed, and Corey like kind of like trots and like slides in, but he slides off the bed because
yeah.
it's so like.
That was the one where they decided not to have sex, though, right?
Yeah, they
Pretty sure.
waited until
They
marriage.
mostly,
Yeah.
They got
Because
married.
the honeymoon one was, I just remember, it was
Yeah.
very triumphant for Corey. That
And
was,
then they had the house made of cork. And they didn't get their nook.
I'm gonna say that don't wait until you're married to have sex.
Hey, I agree.
I mean, not only because there's a myriad of people you could have sex with, and yeah, that could be fun, but also, like, there's a certain level of, like, sexual compatibility that you, like, want to have.
You gotta
with
make
your
sure your
partner for
husband
life.
won't eat that puss.
Or do whatever it is that you're into, you know, if
Yeah,
it's like, you
but-
know, sub-dom stuff, if it's
But-
costumes, if it's whatever little thing that, like, gets you going, you need to make sure that that person
Yeah.
is into
into
that
it.
kind of thing. I mean, like, I know couples that do, like, cosplay together and like, dress up and do, like, a whole theatrical thing, and I'm like,
Aw.
yeah, I'm not doing that shit. And my husband also was like, no. But, I mean, you just have to find somebody who... I realize that, like, there's a lot of different things that, like, you can be looking for to, like, share with. And that's an important one, you know what I mean? Like, to have that compatibility. So, I advise, and I'm super sorry. I mean, like, you know, don't be like a baby and having sex. All right, like, fucking wait. Just, like, wait until you're, like, I don't know, 16 or something. Like, just... And then do whatever you want, because you're an adult and you're who you are, and, you know, you're going to make your own mistakes, but...
I would have waited till marriage for Topanga Lawrence, 100%. I would have... Topanga Lawrence, I was like... I had a crush on her from the beginning, even though, like, she wasn't really...
Is that her
she
actual
was,
name?
Yeah.
No, it's Danielle Fishel.
No, but I was in love with the character Topanga Lawrence.
Yeah, that's fair. She got lush lips. She got lush tits. She
was
got
real
lush
hippie.
hair.
She was real hippie when she was, like, younger. Her
Yeah,
parents were super
her
hippies.
character abruptly shifts.
Yeah.
After the haircut episode.
Yeah, no, because that was her, because everybody's
that's what
treating her
happens.
differently.
And then they
all
call
the
back
girls,
to
like-
it later, and if you haven't watched it, you're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, she was...
She has a sister named Nebula?
Her dad is one of the monkeys. One of the guys from the
Yeah.
monkeys, because they had, like, his buddies come
Yeah.
and play one of the shows, and Davy Jones played, what was his name? Reginald Fairfield. This guy, Reginald Fairfield. And yeah, he came and the
Which
monkeys
one
sort
is
of
his
acted-
dad?
No,
Peter Tork? Mike
Topanga's dad.
Nesmith?
Topanga's dad. The guy
Which one?
I don't know.
with glasses.
Mickey Dolenz, Peter
We're not
Tork,
gonna
Not the
know
one who
the
has
name.
long hair.
blonde, black-haired, that kind of looks like Alan Alda. The guy, Mickey Dolenz, who's
I think
like
the one that kind of looks like Alan Alda might be the one I'm thinking of.
Mike Nesmith.
We'll see.
I'm like very proud of knowing the names of all the people in the Monkees.
I always wondered what the monkeys' connection to the show was, because it was like...
Right? They also had a TV show? No.
Yeah.
They were just
Monkeys were a
rerunning their
TV
TV show when we were kids. Yeah, but
Okay,
I was like,
yeah.
they had a TV show when we were kids. And I was like, no, those were just
Nope.
rerunning.
Yeah.
Well, was what channel was Boy Meets World originally on?
ABC.
Disney? ABC?
And they go by
Which is a
TGIF.
Disney owned.
Well,
which
then
is
I
owned by
wonder
Disney.
if the Monkeys were owned by Disney and Disney owns
Probably.
Boy Meets World, and so they did like crossover episodes or shit like that.
Dude, TGIF. Y'all ever looked up like the original lineups of TGIF? I don't even remember what was on it. It's crazy.
Mike Nesmith.
Sorry, yeah, it's that one. That's the guy. That's
He's
Topanga's
mostly a
dad.
director now,
Gotcha.
so it's
Yeah.
funny that he's an actor in anything.
Davy Jones is rocking that
Beautiful.
unibrow too.
I see.
I mean, I
Yeah,
feel the
Davy Jones
same
is the
way
only
I have a
one I can
unibrow, so I
identify.
can't really argue with it.
The only
but
one you didn't identify?
I could identify.
That's David Jones.
Oh,
That's David
oh,
Jones.
I see
That's
what you're
Topanga's dad. Yeah.
Oh, Delia could not be less interested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Risha does not care about Topanga's dad. Fuck Topanga. She wanted to be with Corey. Topanga was in the way.
I did want to be with Corey.
Topanga was like on a
I can tell.
She was on a show was it on E that was kind of like Top Soup?
Yeah,
It was about was it about fashion or? Not
I think it
fashion?
was basically the soup.
Okay,
but it was called like the stew. It was called the stew.
The stew.
And I mean, it's just again
Do
talking
it
about
up.
reality shows and just whatever reality shows they focused on in that one. Glad she's back. Glad she's back to regular TV. I didn't feel like she was.
Remember
loving
when
that
she
too much.
dated Lance Bass?
No.
Oh.
What? How do you guys not remember that?
I don't remember
Wasn't
that.
Lance Bass the gay one?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the gay one, but she was his beard. And they were legit dating, and they tried to lose their virginity to each other, and then he was like, I don't think we should do this.
Oh wow! So they were
Yeah.
young then.
Yeah, they were like a serious couple that was like pushed out into the media.
I don't remember that. I think
You
you're
don't?
Wow.
It's totally real. He writes about it
It's
in his
totally
fucking
real.
tell-all.
He has a tell-all?
Yeah, Lance Bass wrote a book about himself with his face on the cover.
Oh, I want to do that. I want to write a book and it'll be called You Don't Know Who I Am.
But cheeky.
Wait, he never made it
They'll
in space,
get the
did he?
pun because they know who they're looking at. You get it? Ay, 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 my cheek is my face.
He never made it to space, did he? He was gonna go to space.
No, he did not go to space. Did he?
Why?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he
I don't know, Lance.
He did not
he's
go
supposed
to
to.
Daniel
Oh.
Fishel's pussy. He did not go to space. That guy has no follow through.
Yeah.
I bet you he could go to
Where has
space
he?
now,
He
though,
doesn't.
because of the whatever his name is, Magoo, who's running the space program that's private.
Elon Musk.
Yep, that's exactly who I meant. That is exactly Mr. Magoo, Elon Musk, exactly. Wendell knows me. Wendell knows me. That's how I speak. It's good.
I also just am glad somebody's trying to send people to space still. Are you guys? That was a thing. That was a thing. I'm blind, so I don't know what the hell that was. No, yeah, I'm really glad we're trying to put people up there for some reason still. I think
You
it's
want to
cool.
go to space?
I was just gonna say
I wanna die
I
in
was
space.
catching Katie's kisses. That's what I was gonna.
Oh,
Okay,
you're
it looked
so
like you were
winking and
throwing
kissing.
cheese. Yeah, okay.
No, so sweet.
That was a fun sentence. I'm not gonna lie.
Looked like you were throwing
Catching
cheese.
Katie's kisses.
Catching Katie's kisses.
Yeah,
I'll throw all
that's
the
the
kisses,
hashtag
girl.
for that one. Catching
Ooh,
Katie's kisses.
alliteration's fun.
We like it.
Oh, but it's KKK.
Oh.
No, it's CKK, you big
Yeah.
dum-dum.
But I was spelling it
Catching
K, so good.
Katie's
Like
kisses.
Calvin Klein clan.
Calvin Klein clan. That's better, way better. That's 1,000 times better. I'd be in the Calvin Klein clan. Even though I feel like Calvin Klein's probably a little racist.
Is he like Tommy Hilfiger? Because Tommy Hilfiger ended up being racist.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
maybe
right?
that's who I'm
Do
thinking
people
of.
wear
I was thinking
Tommy
about.
Hilfiger still?
Yes.
I have a pair of Tommy
I
Hilfiger
feel
pants that
like
I hate.
They
but I
have
wear
a
them sometimes.
store in the Domain. Am I wrong about that? I think they do.
I
Maybe.
don't know.
Maybe.
They don't let me in the domain. My credit score keeps me out.
There's just a laser force field.
I walk in and then they go like, "Oh, ma'am,
Please
no."
leave. You know there's a Forever 21 and a papaya in the Domain.
Like,
Yeah, but it's fancy Forever 21. Fancy papaya. They're like, is your dad a billionaire and you're 14? Here's your Forever 21. They're like, oh my god, guys, like diamond encrusted shirt? Like, I don't know, it'll probably hurt me. Let's buy it anyway. Oh. And it's like $1,400. And they're like, no problem. Here's daddy's credit card. It's real. And then I don't know what papaya is, but I'm happy to give you a reference of how a rich person who has a young daughter could use it.
my assumption was that you guys like a papaya is a really expensive fruit. And you're like, we got a papaya.
I will play along.
We have one
papaya.
whole
If I had
papaya.
to guess, the only other store that I've ever heard of that was called Papaya was Gray's Papaya, which is a hot dog restaurant in New York City. So it's a hot dog restaurant in the mall.
Papaya
And it's,
is
like,
a
super fancy.
cheaper Forever 21. And I mean
What?
if you
So
mostly
it's not a
from
Jamba
a
Juice?
quality perspective, not necessarily from a cost perspective.
Oh,
Yep.
shh, that's
I
rough.
did buy a great dress there, though, when I was like, probably like 5 years ago. It lasted me for 2 years, but
Yeah.
I was surprised that it lasted that long.
Dude, when I graduated high school, this is the most privileged thing I'll ever say, but I'll follow it up with the stupidest thing I'll ever say.
Okay.
My dad was like raised in and out of money, like his parents were divorced, and he knew what he was sending me to Tulane, and I got like my school covered by this scholarship. So he was like, okay, well, you're going to school with a bunch of rich kids, but we're not rich, so I'll give you $1,000 to go buy whatever you